SEO is something we're passionate about, something I'm personally passionate about. It's such a great way as a long-term strategy, much like building a following on LinkedIn. It's a long-term game. So unfortunately, it's not something you can click your fingers and overnight you're going to be page one for all the search terms. You can get tons
Yes.
of traffic, tons of leads, tons of sales. So it does need a thoughtful strategy. So there are a few main elements to creating a winning SEO strategy, as it were. First and foremost is getting the foundation right. So before you even think about kind of tinkering with your website, tinkering with the content, the technical markup, or trying to do offsite work, you really want to do the research properly. And there's a number of tools you can use to use the research. It could be SEMrush, it could be Google Keyword Planner. You could utilize Google Search Console. And really you want to think about, firstly, what are the main products or the main services I want to be selling?
Mm.
So let's say you provide, I don't know, let's say you're a, I don't know, sales management consultant. So you might want to be on page one of Google for if someone's searching sales management consultancy, if someone's searching like best sales trainers, if someone's searching like high performance sales trainers. So those might be some of the main services that you actually want to get leads for. So you've got to think about whether that's a product, whether that's a service. And then you can use these kind of tools, or if you employ a company, they can use these tools to work out the search terms, work out if they're getting search volume. But one of the things to consider is that some search terms may be flooded, so they may be highly competitive. There may be companies that are spending thousands, if not millions on them per month. So they might not be worth going for. So you may want to look at kind of what's called longer tail search terms. To give you a quick idea without boring you too much, a longer tail search term, if we were a sales trainer, might be best sales trainer in the UK or best sales trainer in the USA. So adding extra terms to the keyword. And yeah, it's essentially about looking at search terms that are relevant, that have high intent. So if someone's looking at it, they're probably going to need your services, picking the ones that are relevant to what you offer. And then once you've got a list of search terms you want to hone in on, there's a couple things you need to do on your website.
Mm.
So we need to look at an on-site strategy because there's two main elements to SEO, right? There's on-site SEO and there's off-site SEO. Everything you do on your website, everything you do off your website. And feel free to jump in if I'm moving too fast. So
Oh.
on-site, you need to look at the technical side of things. So once we've got our search terms we want to target, technically, we need to make sure that because Google recently released something called Core Web Vitals. And it's really important that your website hits a number of things to help it rank better. So that one of those things includes page speed. So this is something I ramble on about a lot. Your website needs to load lightning fast because if it's slow, it's really going to affect the customer experience. And if no one likes a slow site, if they click your listing in Google and it takes 10 seconds to load, they're going to head to a competitor that gives them a more enjoyable experience. So it's things like that. It's things like making sure what's called the technical markups, so things like meta titles, meta descriptions, which is the actual
Mm.
listing that you see in Google, are on par with the search terms that you've agreed on. Making sure all other elements, so page titles, H1 tags, etc. Now, getting into the content, Google loves fresh content. It loves relevant content. It loves informative content that's really going to help the user. And so do people. Ultimately, if you're searching for something, let's say, bring it back to the sales training thing. If you search for sales trainer and you click on a page that doesn't really help you out, so it doesn't say kind of here's why we're the best sales trainer, here's some useful resources like some blogs, some videos, some articles, some infographics. If it just gives a couple lines of text and asks you to get in touch, it's not really building confidence that they're a useful resource. So making sure that that you have dedicated information pages for your key services that are linked to your search terms, and making sure those information pages are really relevant, useful, and helpful resources. So if someone lands on that content page, they're really encouraged to learn more about what you offer and then click through, learn a bit more about your company, and eventually get in touch with you. So request a quote or give
Yeah,
you a
yeah.
call.
Yeah, that's a great point. Because, I noticed like some people when it comes to SEO, and even I noticed this for people who use hashtags on Instagram. So they use keywords that attracts their competition to them instead of attracting their customers. They use
Right,
keywords that their competition is searching for. For
right.
example, if I'm selling Facebook advertising services, like people start using keywords like for example, how to solve this specific problem when it comes to Facebook advertising. which means like when the customer is searching for Facebook advertising services, they don't know about those details, they won't search about it. You are attracting your competition to you, because your competition who's doing Facebook ads is searching for these keywords, and they keep like attracting the wrong type of people to their websites or even on Instagram when they use hashtags.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. It's got to be relevant to what you do. Um, and if, for example, bringing it back to the side of things, if you did decide best sales trainer was one of your search terms, you might want to do a page purely devoted to that, and maybe have some useful videos, maybe have some useful question and answers, maybe have some useful infographics, and just really help the user get a feel for what you can offer, how you can help them, as
Mm.
much detail. And ultimately, if you can produce better content than your competition over time, that's going to pay off and get you more traffic. And once you've optimized your site in terms of the technical side of things, in terms of the content, really providing value, really making sure it's relevant to the search terms you're going for, and also helping your customers enjoy their experience on your website, then you can look at the off-site strategy. So this might be things like creating articles, creating press releases, creating blogs, posting out infographics, posting out animated videos, whatever this content is,
Mm.
and then distributing it onto trusted websites that perhaps related to your industry, and building what's called backlinks that send users back to your site, which all send signals to Google, which over time is going to build up your website's domain authority, build up your link juice, and also build up your organic positionings in Google over time, when done consistently, when done over time.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to get you the web traffic. That's what's going to get you those page one results. And most importantly, get you the inbound leads or the sales, depending on what you're looking to do.